peoples? It's been like a whole month since I've seen you guys. It's awesome. I can't believe it's been a month already. Is it right if I take this? So yeah, so how y'all been? Y'all been good? So yeah, this is I'm really excited to be back with you guys because I had a blast last time. Oh, and by the way, if anybody makes fun of my manly diary here, there will be a laying on of hands ceremony afterwards. No, I'm just kidding. So how many of y'all remember kind of some of what we talked about last month?
Who, me?
My man. Okay, see? He owned it already. Yeah, what we was talking about was how God individually loves each and every one of us. God knows each and every one of us individually. Like, it's like, we have corporate worship and everybody's doing their thing together and, God comes down in the midst of all of us. But God cares about each and every one of you. That's kind of some of what we were talking about. There was a video last week that kind of showed a young lady who started out with a great walk with God. God was showing her all the wonders, and then the world came and kind of snatched her away. And she got twisted up in all of the things of the world, and it kind of just messed with her. And then later, God came in, interceded for her, and brought her out of that situation. Okay? So we're going to kind of move along with that whole line of thinking there. We're going to be talking about being more than a conqueror. Because what God did for us, He conquered the grave. We kind of just sang that a few minutes ago. I was like, oh, these songs are like right in line with what we're doing. It's so sweet. And I didn't plan it, by the way. God did. So, but kind of summarize, we kind of talked about a little bit in Romans chapter 8, verses, we're going to start at verse 28. And basically, Romans 8:28 says, for we know in all things that God works together for the good. The things God works together for the good to those who love Him according to His purpose and plan. What that means is, regardless of what's going on, God works all those things together for your benefit. So it may seem like a bunch of bad things are happening, but He's working it together in your benefit. And I got like a super sweet example of that. God hooked this up like crazy, okay? But it's like a 10-year story. This is what actually happened to me. So this is real life. I'm not joking. This is what happened. All right? So as a young man, in case you guys haven't noticed, I kind of march to the beat of a different drummer boy. I'm not normal. I'm sure y'all gonna find out the more y'all get to know me. But everybody was telling me, you gotta go to school, you gotta get a good education, and you gotta work hard, go to school, get a good education. I was pounding into my head. And me being a person I am, like, nope, it's gotta be a different way. Don't have to work that way. And so, at a young age, I got into learning that, well, I can hustle this, and I can do this, and I can do a little bit of this. I can make money this way. And so I started learning different ways of making money. Hustling, basically. Doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And I got it stuck in my head that, you know what? I don't need a job to be successful. I can do it on my own. I don't need no help. I don't need no job. So I had real authority issues and all that stuff. I couldn't stand somebody telling me when I need to go, when I need to come, all that good stuff. I had issues. 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 Okay? But it got to the point where I couldn't do it on my own. And I started realizing that over these last few months. I started another business up about 4 years ago, in 2006. And I was like, this is it. I done learned a lot since I started doing this 10 years ago. And, I know a lot of things. And I know a lot of things and a lot of people. I'm going to do this. I didn't really consult God. No, this is what we do. Check this out. Y'all ready for this? This is how we do it. God, I really want this to work. So I'm going to do it. And I know you're going to bless it, right? Because I want it. And I'm a good person. God, me and you tight like that, right? And I rationalized this whole thing out. All right? So I was tight. And for the first couple of years, I was making money. My business went in 2006, the first year, I made like $38,000, $40,000. Cool. Second year, I made $98,000. I was like, see, I told you. I told you. We don't need nobody else. We can do this. We just go do what we want to do. Okay? And then the next year, the economy hit. That's all right. I'm good. Because you know, I've been hustling these years. I know I got all my stuff dealed out. I know what I can do. And I lost $30,000 that next year. I was like, you know what? $60,000. I'm good. Following year, lost another $30,000. Ooh, lifestyle's catching up to me. This is not good. I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna make this thing work because I'm hard-headed. I'm gonna make it work. And so, next year, which would have been last year, I think I made $20,000 maybe. I was like, okay, this is not working. All right, so, God, what do I need to do? Because you know I ain't getting a job. What I need to go do? And all the time, it had nothing to do with getting a job. It had nothing to do with this. It had to do with my mentality, my thinking. Because my thinking was, you know what? Jobs are cool for the people who can't hack it for themselves. They got to have somebody else pay for their stuff for them. So they go work a little hours, have their little boss tell them what to do. But for the people who, you know, entrepreneurial types, you know what I'm saying? Stand on their own 2 feet. The people who can do it for themselves. They business owners. They entrepreneurs. And that was me. Because I ain't going to have nobody tell me when I can go to the bathroom. But that's a messed up mentality because that's not... Job has nothing to do with the character of a person. I identified myself with what I did and not completely with God. I knew who I was in God. I knew what God wanted me to do. But I didn't identify myself completely with what God had. And so it got to the point where I was like, you know what? God, you're right. I made fun of all these people for all these years. I'm about to be one. So I went and got a job. Working at a corrections facility and making $10 an hour. Now keep in mind, I had a wife and 4 kids. All right? $10 an hour. Let me give you an idea of what that's like. Okay, that's about $300 a week. My family eats about $200 a week. Do the math. I still got to pay rent. Ain't happening. Okay? So I was doing that. I was working nights, but I was still doing my business during the day. Okay? So keep this in mind. I'd go to work about 10 o'clock at night. I get off at 6 in the morning. Come home, drop my son off at school. I might go to sleep if I didn't get a call. That never happened. We got a service call for you. Cool. More money. So I jump out the house, went to work all day long. 6 o'clock at night rolls around. Keep in mind, I've been up since 10 o'clock the night before. 6 o'clock at even comes around. I'm tired. So I go to sleep for about an hour and a half. The kids are up, running around, kicking the house, making the house fall down, And I'm like, this. 10 o'clock rolls around. You're supposed to be at work. So I head into work all night long. 6 o'clock in the morning comes around. Cool. I'm going to go home and get some sleep. Lay down for about an hour, the phone rings. Yeah, we got a service call for you. Really? Where is it at? Toledo. Are you kidding me? So I take off to Toledo. And this went on for weeks. Running back and forth. And I would go 3-4 days on end with no sleep. Kids never saw me. And I was like, God, why? Why? Why am I going through all this? What is this for? And then God said,